Uh, when I checked your assignment, um, I need some kind of clarification of it. For the construction part, there is a reason that there are certain ways of putting these constructions, right? We start from the perpendicular line and parallel line like that because those constructions are needed to construct the later ones. So you cannot jumping around unless you really develop the new another way to construct it, right? Saying without using the previous construction, then it's okay, right? But some of you use some construction which will be covered later in that order, right? So you just cannot say, oh, I just make at this time I only covered up to uh, parallel line, right? But for in the middle of construction of parallel line, some of you use the congruent circle construction there, right? So without any explanation or constructions, you just simply saying, yeah, just to make another circle, center that another point, and using the radius of the previous circle in that construction, right? So I think that is a congruent circle construction, right? Which we haven't covered yet. Okay, so you cannot using it, and even the worst thing is in the congruent circle construction, we use this parallel line construction for that, right? So unless you use some other way, right, we need this parallel line construction to construct congruent circle. So you cannot make a circular arguments here, right? So, and another thing is, and in each, I just worry about the later assignments, which I haven't covered, but like you, I mentioned that one, right, in a live session. If you finish that previous construction, then you don't need to show the steps in that construction again, right? Because our students will know it, right? So in that case, for the later construction, all we need is just to mention, yeah, use the previous steps we just constructed, or just simply just mention, right? So I think this is the kind of best ones among you guys do. Like, and even it has like this. I suggest to use that file. Many of you just use regular GeoGebra file, right? Not even using this. Okay? So I mentioned previously what I gave you is without having those buttons, right? Only these buttons. But after you finish each construction, you can include these buttons because we can skip that part, right? To explain to our students. Students will know how to make those perpendicular line and like the perpendicular bisect like this. So I think this is the kind of from my point of view, and this is what I'm looking for, right? So, and even the construction is going to be much simpler than many of you do, right? Look at here, yeah, you don't need to explain placing point A and point B and make a line. We know that construction, right, from the beginning, right? So you can start with, yeah, and even this is a given, right? For the given line and the point, we want to construct a parallel line, right? So it's not really belong to the steps of construction. It's just a given condition, right? And right now you don't need to explain. Yeah, just make a circle, and we know we cover this one, the constructing the perpendicular line, passing that point, and there. So all you need is yeah, just construct it. And in your construction, in GeoGebra file, you can just use this button, right? And even you can suggest your students to use this one for their own construction because we already covered, right? Because they should know about it. So if they need what steps we need to construct that portion, they could look back that file or that contents again, right? So by doing this, construct a perpendicular line here and like that, you cover that one. So that's the answer. Okay? So only just a few steps are enough. So I think this is really kind of saving your time and your students' time, all the effort, right? And this is kind of pedagogically the right approach, I think, right? So if you have your own one, yeah, I want to listen, right? I want to get yours, right? but not like every file just redo it this portion again. Sometimes we need it. Yeah, I understand that, and we have to explain that one. But sometimes it looks too much information, and most of them are already covered before, and it's not necessary to most of our students, right? Then I don't think it's the right way to approach. Okay? This is enough. And some of your students might ask, okay, how I can do this one? Then you can point out, look back, we already covered this one. You already have the files, they already did that one before. So by just pointing out, that is enough, I think, right? So to save everybody's time, right, your students, right, then I don't think we need to show all the steps within there, right? This is enough. Okay? So please understand. And some of you even didn't put the text part and the proof. Okay, I mean, it's kind of nothing. Okay, so. And some of you didn't put the label for this one and just simply saying, hey, construct line, construct circle. Okay, what line and what circle? Okay. The diagram shows it, but without label and without saying line AB and circle C, radius AC. Listen, the key point in the proof in math, the mathematical proof, this diagram is just extra information. The text should be enough. Okay? So if you don't say, okay, what we are doing over here, so then it's not enough. Okay? So like even without this diagram part, anyone look at this one, then they should get, they could kind of sketch this graph part, right? So let's just follow it. Given a line F and point C, okay, if it's more necessary, then you should say the point C is not on the line, right? But meaning of parallel line is kind of based on that fact, right? So it's okay, right? Construct perpendicular line to F going through C, which we really covered, right, before. So we could do that, right? Anyone could do that. And label this line G. Now see, right? We need the label of that line because we need that line for the next construction. Right? Construct a perpendicular line to G, right, through C. We covered that construction before, so that sentence is enough. Anyone could sketch that line H. Okay, and we need to give the name for that because later we have to claim that line is what you are looking for. The H is parallel to F. So I think, yeah, it might be a little bit too much brief, right? But I mean, it covered the core parts of it, right? And after that, yeah, just make it like even there is no the dots at the end of it, right? So it's not a sentence, right? But if you really picky about it, then yeah, there are something, but right, it covers the core and there is no missing parts whatsoever. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But some of you guys have done is like there are many missing informations, and even sometimes your construction is totally wrong, and so I'm a little bit afraid, like really kind of with that way you're not going to get the kind of the points you are looking for, right? So please consider that again. So always we are making our teaching module. So don't assuming I know, right? So just to toss out something, you know, so you know what I mean. No, right? You have to give me the whole information, but the whole means not all the step-by-step information, right? We really want to save our time and students' time, but deliver all the necessary information to our students, right? Then we have to think, what is the best way to? So once again, I'm not saying what I suggest is the best one, but if you cannot provide your own idea to me, then I'm going to treat that as not following my recommendation. Then you're not going to deserve points for that, right? So if you do your own way, make sure that you can argue with me, right? I might give you the bad points, but you can say, oh, but I did this way and that way, and I think this is enough. So if there is no missing stuff that is really necessary, right? So it's not like not fighting each other, but we just try to learn from each other, right? So because I believe this is better one, you believe that the other one is better one. Let's just discuss. So, and I'm gonna just pointing out then how can I do this part? You don't mention anything. Oh yeah, you know this part, so with this. Oh yeah, okay, then that's good. I can accept that way. But please look at that Excel file, that comment part. I mentioned that, okay, how you said construct this. How can you construct it? Because we haven't covered that one yet. Okay, and even that construction requires this construction that we are dealing with. Then there's no way that your students could do that, right? Then that whole construction is totally wrong. Okay, so I mean that's what I'm seeing, right? So that's just the example, right, that I'm seeing. So, but for any comment that I give you, if you have any questions and there is a reason you do that, please let me know, right? And hopefully, yeah, you have. I just missed that part, and wow, I'm really happy to, yeah, correct the points. But yeah, key point is don't waste your time. Right? After you make this one, I wish you guys could use this one in the future. Maybe not exactly as it is, but a slight modification makes it much better and really nice teaching mode. Right? I really wish that's my kind of one of the goal. Right? So please spend a little more time. Okay? And please thinking about the ideas about it. And please just try to share your idea with me, okay, or with your classmates. Okay, thank you.